A joint convention of the City Council and School Committee is held in person in the City Council chambers on Monday, May 1st, 2023 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of electing a school committee member to fill a vacancy in the school committee caused by the resignation of James Fleming and other matters pertaining to this election. Notice of this meeting was posted on April 24th, 2023 at 1:40 p.m. Absent are none. Attending remotely is Councillor Watson-Felt. Also in attendance this evening, we have, we have the candidates that have submitted their resume. I would just like to make a quick note and acknowledge the position that we are filling this evening for Mr. James Fleming, a Ward 6 resident, so I would be with myself to not mention anything, and thank him for his service. He also sat here in our counselor seats before he sat on the school committee for 20 years. So quite large shoes we have to fill. We're not asking anyone to serve 20 years, just until the end of the year. And I would also like to say a thank you to the candidates that have submitted their resumes this evening. Appreciate the standing up and the willingness to do so. Moving on. Councilor President Stott is presiding, and Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, President Stott. I move that the nominations be open to fill the vacancy in the school committee. We intend to expire on the first Monday in January 24th.
Second.
Motion seconded by Councilor Prasnewski. Councilor Dominguez moved that the nominations be opened. Seconded by Councilor Prasnewski. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
School committee member or Mayor McCarthy.
Yes.
Could you turn on your microphone,
Please turn on your mic.
And,
Your mic.
Oh, sorry. No, usually people can hear me. Yes.
School committee member Manny Cruz.
Yes.
School committee member Manning.
Yes.
School committee member Cornell.
Yes.
School committee member Pangalo.
Yes.
And school committee member Campbell.
Yes.
Council Watson-Felt. What? What you?
Yes.
Council Varela.
Yes.
Council Prasnewski.
Yes.
Council Masello.
Yes.
Council Merkel.
Yes.
Council McLean.
Yes.
Council Hapler.
Yes.
Council Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilor Cohen.
Yes.
And Councilor Stott.
Yes. On the motion that nominations be open to fill the vacancy in the school committee with a term to expire on the first Monday in January 2024, 16 members voting, 16 in the affirmative, matter carries. School committee member Cruz.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to take a moment of personal privilege to read our district's equity statement and LGBTQ inclusion statement prior to reading the names of the candidates. We believe that the work to realize our goals as an anti-racist organization and promote justice in every element of our system.
Excuse me, can you just put the mic a little closer? We're having a hard time hearing you. We want to make sure we hear you. Thank you.
Must be owned and led by every individual. We are committed to establishing work streams that ensure equitable access, opportunities, and game-changing outcomes for every child who attends the Salem Public Schools. As a result, there is no single priority focused on equity or a single person who is responsible for this work. In collaboration with the Salem Public Schools School Committee, staff, students, and community members, we have established a strong statement that will serve as the lens through which we examine our strategic efforts. It will ground the decisions that we make and the actions that we take over the course of the next several years. We do not believe that we know all the answers or of how to achieve this yet, but we must be determined to identify, iterate, and implement these actions, policies, and practices that bring these commitments to life. Statement reads, equity is a core value within the Salem Public Schools. We support each other's students' unique path to achieving high standards regardless of race, ethnicity, color, economic status, national origin, age, abilities, parental or immigration status, political beliefs, sex, sexual orientation, language, gender identity, or gender expression. Valuing equity means that we reflect and embrace the greater diversity of our students and families, recognize that systems of oppression marginalize some populations and suppress some voices, that we bear a collective responsibility to recognize, interrupt, and transform educational inequities, champion access and inclusion for all students, families, and staff, allocate resources so that students, families, and staff who need the most get the most. We work to be an anti-racist and culturally responsive community. We create a more just and equitable world for all of our students. The Salem Public Schools District strives to ensure a safe and inclusive learning environment for all students, including the lesbian and gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning members of our school community, who deserve welcoming schools, free from discrimination and harassment based on sexual orientation and gender identity. The Salem Public Schools affirm that transgender and gender expansive rights are basic human rights, that gender identity is not determined by sex assigned at birth, and that gender expands beyond a binary.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Our school committee, beg your pardon. I'm glad you can all hear me. Our school committee, superintendent, school leaders, teachers, and support personnel are committed to the basic rights of students to self-determine their gender identity without fear of reprisal or discrimination. We believe that to be student-centered is to celebrate the entire student, which includes race, class, culture, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, and ability, all of which adds to the rich diversity of our school communities. That's what it means to serve as a school committee member. And with that, I declare the following 7 candidates be nominated. Candidate 1, Aaron Truex. Candidate 2, Alicia Da Peña. Candidate 3, Jeremy Nell. Candidate 4, Veronica Miranda. Candidate 5, Gary Torres Holguin. Candidate 6, Henry Mehmet Gruen. Sorry if I butchered your last name. Candidate 7, Joyce Harrington.
Thank you, Chair Cruz, and I would like to request that your statement be submitted to the city clerk as well so it can be added to the minutes, in case anyone missed it. Thank you. Councillor Hepworth?
Thank you, President Stott. I move that each candidate be given 3 minutes to speak.
Seconded by Councillor Merkel. Councillor Hepworth moved that each candidate be given 3 minutes to speak, seconded by Councillor Merkel. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor McCarthy.
Yes.
School Committee Member Cruz.
Yes.
School Committee Member Manning.
Yes.
School Committee Member Cornell.
Yes.
School Committee Member Pangallo.
Yes.
And School Committee Member Campbell.
Yes.
Councilor Watson-Felt.
Yes.
Councilor Varela.
Yes.
Councilor Presniewski.
Yes.
Councilor Musillo.
Yes.
Councilor Merkel.
Yes.
Councilor McLean.
Yes.
Councilor Hapler.
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilor Cohen.
Yes.
And Councilor Stott.
Yes. On the motion that each candidate be given 3 minutes to speak, 16 members voting, 16 in the affirmative, matter carries. First up this evening, we have our first candidate, Aaron Truex. Please make your way to the podium. And your 3 minutes.
I don't know, Manny made me nervous with shouting.
Run into it.
Hello, I'm Erin Truex, a social worker, resident of Salem, and a parent of a Salem public school student. First, I want to thank each of you for considering my application for school committee. I chose to submit my name as I intend to run in the next election. I believe my skill set, combined with my personal investment in our schools, makes me well equipped to be a thoughtful and engaged member. I'm thrilled to see the diversity of applicants that are here, and I truly hope everyone runs in the next election. I know that I'm qualified to step into this work immediately. There's much work to be done in the remaining months of this term. My professional experience aligns closely with several of the outstanding projects that will allow me to hit the ground running. I'm currently the Director of Development and Communications for Mabel Center for Immigrant Justice, which provides pro bono legal representation to asylum seekers, a population that is too often overlooked and underrepresented. In this role, I manage all regulations related to private and public funding, not unlike the sources of revenue that our schools navigate. Previously, I worked at Leap for Education, a close partner of Salem Public Schools, Trinity Boston Foundation, the Boston Opportunity Agenda, and Edvestors, all of which are education-focused organizations and leaders in equity, innovation, and collaboration. Presently, I serve on the board of HAWK, the local domestic violence shelter, as well as Behind You, the Elizabeth Buchholz Fund, a local emergency relief nonprofit. Serving on a committee is something I've done over the past 10 years. I understand how to guide strategy and prioritize resource allocation and trust the experienced education professionals to execute their work. I'm so fortunate to potentially be stepping in at a time when the superintendent and committee are working together well and are responsive to the needs of students, teachers, and the public. I look to their strong example and would like to strive to complement these efforts to move the district forward. During my time with the Boston Opportunity Agenda, I served on the City of Boston's high school redesign project, working across sectors to engage stakeholders as the Boston Public Schools and Mayor's Office assessed the cradle-to-career educational pipeline and developed physical spaces conducive to learning. I facilitated meetings, managed all digital communication to solicit community impact, and worked diligently to ensure differing perspectives were both heard and validated. These skills will be critical as we collectively determine our future high school so it can serve our students for years to come. I'm a parent of a child at Bates Elementary School, and I'm proud to say that she attends public school. I have supported Bates in various ways, including securing a national grant for the school's community garden. I currently serve on the Parent Advisory Council, and I'm so invigorated by the conversations I've had the opportunity to be a part of this far. I'm constantly proud of being a part of a district that cares so deeply. I appreciate and respect that you, the school committee, and city council have a difficult decision ahead of you because there are several dedicated individuals that would like to assume this role. I thank you for your time and consideration tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Truex. Our second candidate to speak this evening is Alicia DePina.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be in front of all you guys today. Before I start, I want to share something that my daughter received this weekend. And it says, I know that our time together has not been long. More, remember, I hope you remember that there was a teacher that wanted the best for you. I really did want the best for you, and I still do want the best for you. I want you to continue to be that warm and joyful young lady in this class. You're such a kind, genuine, and warm person. Your warmth stood when I first met you. I could tell that you were kind and your heart was filled with love and caring. I appreciate how you involved everyone in the class when some of the students felt left out. Jazzy, I love being your teacher. Thank you for being that student. This is a letter, I'm gonna share this with you. My daughter's teacher is moving to Virginia. And this morning, my daughter's like, Mom, you're not gonna believe she's leaving. But the teacher had already called me and told me so that when she came home, I would prepare my daughter for her because she really liked the teacher. And then that brought me back to to move into Salem. I moved to Salem about 40 years ago. And I remember walking into the Bentley School and being child that wasn't able to speak the language and being scared. I remember Mr. Walsh, which was the principal at the time, who said, "Come, don't be afraid." But I didn't understand what he was saying at the time. I remember him pushing me. I remember a teacher by the name of Miss Tivnan, who was one of the toughest teachers I know, but she said, "Don't let the language be the barrier." I remember going into middle school, not knowing what was going to be up or down, but trying to survive. And there, also meeting some teachers like Miss McCready, Miss Burke, that pushed me. I remember, and then I was like, why are all these teachers so motivated? Where's that coming from? Why do they care so much? And then as I got older and further my education in Salem State College, I realized that there was a school government that was pushing for the children to see this. I am a product of the Salem School Department. I am that child that needed that help and got it. I am that child that needed that push and got it. I am that person that wants to contribute, not only just as a mother, because I do have 3 wonderful children. One who has already graduated Salem High School, one who's currently at the New Liberty School, who is an amazing school. He has done so great at that school. And my daughter, who's going to the charter school, and she says, "Mom, you guys have a tough job as adults." And I said, "What do you mean?" It's hard to write a letter like that, because I was in a lot of pain, but I could imagine when she was writing those words to me, how she felt. I want to be able to contribute to the city, not only as a parent, but also as someone that could see every single child in the city as I see my child. That child that came in to me this morning and said, "Mom, my teacher's leaving." I want to be that support. I want to be part of that team. During COVID, I realized how hard everybody worked. How hard in a difficult time everybody stood up as a city government, as a city councilors, as school committee, as teachers. How my children were able to continue their education in the middle of chaos and being scared, not knowing when they were going to be able to leave. And I thank you so much for this time. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Next up, we have Jeremy Mealy.
Hello. To begin, I'd like to thank the members of the City Council and thank you, Jeff, School Committee for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Jeremy Mealy. I hold a BA in English from Salem State University and a master's in philosophy from Brandeis University. I've considered Salem my home ever since I began college here in 2013. Between then and now, I've gained experience supporting the education of Salem students, often as a student myself. First as a tutor at SSU's Writing Center, and then later as a historical interpreter at the Witch House. Furthermore, as a course assistant at Brandeis, I gained valuable insight into the amount of work that goes into being a teacher, the preparation and effort an educator needs to provide in order to support their students. I nominated myself for the vacant seat on the school committee because I believe in public service. I think people should contribute to their communities, and I think it is important that they have a voice in their communities, especially in the context of democratic governance. I believe, moreover, in education, that it is a human right that all children, indeed all persons, are due, and because of this, that needs to be free and equitable. Students of color, LGBTQ+ students, and students of all backgrounds deserve an education and educators that reflect both the world around them and themselves. If I'm appointed to the committee, I will support the continued diversification that has made Salem Public Schools one of the most progressive school systems in the state. I will also support the workers of SPS who labor tirelessly to support our children's educational journeys. As a proud member of a municipal union through my employment at the Abbott Public Library, I will be a committed ally to the Salem Teachers Union and to all employees of our school system. I will ensure they get a fair deal and all they are owed from the city. Finally, I want to stress my commitment to Salem and its people. Like many Salem families, including those with school-age children, I rent my home. Being a renter, I have an understanding of what it is to live in this city without the guarantees that come with home ownership. I believe this gives me a valuable insight and a needed voice in our municipal government, which I can provide regularly if I'm appointed to the school committee. As someone who has done education work in Salem, as a believer in education and equity for all, as a worker and a supporter of workers, and as a resident and renter of the city of Salem, I'm humbly requesting a seat on the school committee. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up, we have Veronica Miranda. Hear me? Yes? Okay. That came up way too fast. My name is Veronica Miranda, and I moved to Salem in 2019 after my family was experiencing homelessness. Before that, I grew up on the North Shore in Revere. And in the last several years, I've been involved in the city of Salem in a variety of ways, serving on the Human Rights Coalition as a member on the Salem Housing Authority Board, as a tenant representative and assistant treasurer, and being involved in my children's education, serving on different committees and things like that. As you can see in the resume, I won't read those off. But I think that I've shown my commitment to the city and to equity in different ways. As a queer woman of color that lives in a disadvantaged neighborhood, Rainbow Terrace, I hope to bring some lived perspective, my educational background in mental health, and just everything that I learned during my education to the table, as well as my experience serving on different boards and committees on the North Shore. So I ask for your vote today if you think that that's the right choice for the school committee. And that's all that I have. Great candidates ahead, so thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Gary Holguin.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Gary Torres Holguin. First, I would like to thank you all to be here before you and for the one-to-one conversations that leading up to today. I have a passion for involvement and engagement with families. I enjoy hearing thoughts, ideas, and concerns in Spanish and English as a qualified interpreter. I have witnessed parents frustrated because they want to talk to the other party directly. Therefore, I'm expressing my utmost interest for this for the open seat in this vacancy. I'm currently working for Lynn Public Schools at the Welcome Center as a parent coordinator for the last 2 months. I'm the first person that the parents meet when they come into the district. Previously, I was a paraprofessional for 8 years, and before that, I had 3 years of experience as an early childhood student at the Lynn Early Childhood Center, and obtained my preschool certification in 2015. I want to be a mentor and make an impact on the students. It doesn't matter if the student is 2.9 years old or 20.9 years old. I've worked in all grades, pre-K to 12, from general education to severe special needs, and have made strong life connections, making students feel heard, understood, and valued. Whether being Latino, speaking Spanish, or just close in age, like a brother figure, they've seen themselves in my shoes, and that's precisely what I see in them. For example, 2 students have expressed the importance of understanding other cultures and the dynamics of being a person of color. And they are feeling it, and it's time for change. It is time for a change for them to benefit. In the last school committee meeting, vocational technical programming was a topic, and I am a product and graduate of Lynn Vocational Technical Institute. There is significant need, but much more exploration needs to be exposed to see more substantial outcome in interest for students. My skills and experience speak for themselves, making me an ideal candidate for school committee. I'm eager to bring my expertise to the committee and flourish professionally in this role. I appreciate your consideration of my interest in listening to me this evening.
Thank you. Next up, we have Henry Mehmet Galargan.
All right. Public speaking never gets easier. Good evening, members of the City Council, school committee, and the public. I am honored to stand before you today seeking an appointment for the Salem School Committee. As a future parent, a first-generation American, and a concerned Salem resident, I care deeply for our children's education and the well-being of our schools. My father came to this country from Turkey with nothing but a dream to give his family a better life. He worked tirelessly, holding down 2 or 3 jobs at a time just to make ends meet, and sleeping in a boiler room to make sure that he gives his future kids a better life. I'm here because of my father's example. I feel a deep sense of responsibility to give back to my community and to ensure that every child has access to the same opportunities that I had. I believe that education is the key to a brighter future for our children and our community. My platform focuses on 3 key areas for our district: expand access to mental health care, equitable classroom practices, and support for our teachers. In January of this year, Salem Public Schools launched a partnership with Cartwheel, offering rapid access to therapy and 2 to 4 months of ongoing support for our students. Within a month, 59 of the program's 100 spots were already full. This program is an excellent start, but needs to be expanded to meet student needs. Additionally, we need to work with experts to add more counseling options, focusing on counselors with backgrounds that reflect our district population and offer different styles of counseling for our diverse student body. No adult considers mental health care one size fits all, so why should we ask the same of our children? With 71% of Salem students in high needs categories, it is critical we look at equity of our classroom practices. A key item I support is expansion of our standards-based grading system to counteract the institutional biases and institutional implicit biases that have historically rewarded privileged students and punished those high-need students that Salem has in such high numbers. So as a high-need student myself, I know practices like equity-based grading would have made a huge impact in my educational experience. And finally, teachers have voiced concerns about the toll their job takes on their mental health. Teacher turnover is at a 5-year high nationally, with rates increasing, not dropping, since the COVID-19 pandemic. I want to ensure that our Salem teachers are supported by their administration and school committee. I have worked closely with teachers, administrators, and students over the past 7 years through my work in the SUNY school system, Boston area nonprofits, and music education. I especially want to serve the first generation students like myself, and I humbly ask for your support in my bid for the school committee, and I look forward to working with you all to build a brighter future for Salem. Thank you.
Thank you. And last, we have Joyce Harrington.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that okay? City Council, members of the school committee, fellow nominees. My name is Joyce Harrington, and to clear the air immediately, I am not related to current mayoral candidate Neil Harrington, which I have been saying for approximately 47 years. Not just him, but any other Harringtons as well. Just a little bit of my background. I'm a lifelong Salem resident, attended Salem Public Schools, Salem State College. I'm going to say college because it was college when I was there, as is my husband and my children as well, one of whom took advantage of many of the self-contained special needs programs that were available through the Salem Public Schools, which were very successful for him. So I've seen it both from the teacher side and the parent side in special education. I'm a retired Salem educator. Worked for 30 years in the capacities of paraprofessional, Title I tutor, classroom teacher, and reading specialist. And during part of my tenure, I was also the Salem Teachers Union president for 9 of those years. So I'm very familiar with different parts of the school committee policies, the contracts, and different things. Many of the programs that are still in place in Salem Public Schools, I was on some of those initial committees. For example, the Carleton Innovation School, initially it was the New Liberty Charter School, which is now the New Liberty Innovation School. Actually, even as far back as the beginnings of the Salt and Straw School. So I've come through with many things. My main goal, especially as union president, was to work collaboratively with both the principals in the buildings, the superintendent, and school committee members. And I felt I was fairly successful at that in many of those years, filing very few grievances because we settled most of our issues very well at the school level and didn't have to go on to the superintendent or the school committee. And I'm very happy to see so many people here because we are all in it for the same reason, to make and ensure that the students in the Salem Public Schools are educationally fit, physically fit, and are ready to succeed at any level. And I want to thank you for this opportunity, and good night.
Thank you all. Councillor McLean.
Thank you, President Stott, and thank you to our nominees. I move that the nominations be closed.
Seconded.
Councillor McLean moves that the nominations be closed, seconded by School Committee Member Amanda Campbell. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor McCarthy?
Yes.
School Committee Member Cruz?
Yes.
School Committee Member Manning?
Yes.
School Committee Member Cornell?
Yes.
School Committee Member Pangallo?
Yes.
School Committee Member Campbell?
Yes.
Councilor Watson-Felt?
Yes.
Councilor Varela?
Yes.
Councilor Prosniewski?
Yes.
Councilor Musillo?
Yes.
Councilor Merkel?
Yes.
Councilor McLean?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Cohen?
Yes.
And Councilor Stott?
Yes. Thank you. On the matter that the nominations be closed, 16 members voting, 16 in the affirmative. Nominations are closed. Councillor Cohen.
Thank you, President Stott. I move to elect by roll call vote by stating the name of choice of each candidate.
Second. Councillor Cohen moves to elect by roll call vote by stating the name of choice of each candidate, seconded by School Committee Member Cornell. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor McCarthy?
Yes.
School Committee Member Cruz?
Yes.
School Committee Member Manning?
Yes.
School Committee Member Cornell?
Yes.
School Committee Member Pangallo?
Yes.
School Committee Member Campbell?
Yes.
Councilor Watson-Felt?
Yes.
Councilor Varela?
Yes.
Councilor Prosniewski?
Yes.
Councilor Musillo?
Yes.
Councilor Merkel?
Yes.
Councilor McLean?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Cohen?
Yes.
And Councilor Stott?
Yes. On the motion to elect by roll call vote by stating the name of choice of candidate, 16 members voting, 16 in the affirmative, matter carries. Here we go. So now we will go into the roll call voting. I would just like clarity of how this will go down. So we've done a few roll call votes, so we're good at that. This roll call vote, though, will not be a yes or no. This roll call vote by the two members of the bodies here tonight will be by declaring the name of the candidate that you would like appointed to the seat. I will request that the school committee members share Mayor McCarthy's microphone this evening. Your microphone and Mr. Cruz's microphone are the two that seem to be working, and I just want to make sure that we can adequately hear everyone. Any questions, comments? No, you're good? Okay. The audience is saying it's just McCarthy, Cruz, yeah. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor McCarthy,
Aaron Truex.
School Committee Cruz,
Veronica Miranda.
School Committee Manning,
Veronica Miranda.
School Committee Cornell,
Veronica Miranda.
School Committee Member Pangallo,
Veronica Miranda.
School Committee Member Campbell,
Veronica Miranda.
Council Watson Felt,
Veronica Miranda.
Council Varela,
Veronica Miranda.
Council Presniewski,
Alicia DePina.
Council Marcillo,
Aaron Truex.
Council Merkel,
Veronica Miranda.
Council McLean,
Veronica Miranda.
Council Hapworth,
Veronica Miranda.
Council Dominguez,
Alicia de Peña.
Council Cohen,
Veronica Miranda.
and Council Stott.
Veronica Miranda. On the nominations for the school committee seat vacancy, we had 16 members voting. 2 for Veronica Miranda. Veronica, no. I'm sorry, 12. 12, I read the numbers backwards. 12 for Veronica Miranda, 2 for Alicia DePena, and 2 for Aaron Truex. I now declare Veronica Miranda as an elected member of the school committee. Councilor Marcillo?
I move for immediate reconsideration in the hopes that it will not prevail.
Councilor Marcillo moves for immediate reconsideration in the hopes that it will not prevail. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll. This is just a council vote, correct?
Okay.
So we use immediate reconsideration. Okay. A negative vote is that we will not reconsider. Right.
Mayor McCarthy,
No.
School Committee Member Cruz,
No.
School Committee Member Manning,
No.
School Committee Member Cornell,
No.
School Committee Member Pangallo,
No.
School Committee Member Campbell,
No.
Council Watson Felt,
No.
Council Varela,
No.
Council Presniewski,
No.
Council Marcillo,
No.
Council Merkel,
No.
Council McLean,
No.
Council Hapworth,
No.
Council Dominguez,
No.
Council Cohen,
No.
and Council Stott.
No. Thank you. On the move for immediate consideration in the hopes that it will not prevail, 16 members voting, 16 in the negative, the matter did not prevail. And this was done so we could now immediately swear in the new member of the school committee to be sworn in by the mayor, who does not have it.
No. You have it. I thought you had it.
Is it here?
No.
No.
Okay. I had it right now. Okay. I misunderstood the mayor was going to bring it, Jim was going to speak to him again. I didn't
Technical push, the mayor is on the oath.
Yeah.
Councilor Dominguez.
I move that we have a 3-minute recess.
Councilor Dominguez moves for a 3-minute recess. All those in favor? We are recessed for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
We're coming back, and we now have the proper item needed for the new member of the school committee, Veronica Miranda, to be sworn in by the mayor.
Thank you. And before we do this, I just want to thank all other candidates that submitted their names for consideration tonight. And I was duly impressed by how they spoke and what their resumes had to say. And I would encourage each and every one of them to consider putting their name on the ballot come this fall. And I just want to thank them for taking the time to come out. But we're here to swear in our newest school committee member, and that's what we're going to do. I,
Veronica Miranda,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully, impartially
discharge and perform
all
the duties incumbent upon me
as a member of the Salem School Committee,
acting to the best of my ability and understanding, agreeable with the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Salem, so help me God. I,
Veronica Miranda,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, so help me God. Congratulations.
Councilor Varela?
Thank you, President Stott. I move for suspension of the rules to allow Veronica Miranda to speak.
Seeing no objections, Veronica Miranda, the floor is yours.
Thank you all for this opportunity to bring representation to the school committee and to further equity for our kids, all of the kids, including the Black, brown, queer, and otherwise historically oppressed groups in Salem. I look forward to working alongside all of you, and I'm excited for this opportunity, so thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Congratulations. I think the Madam City Clerk was signaling you need to sign the book, so very exciting. It's not official, so you sign the book. While Veronica is doing that, I would like to thank our candidates this evening, Ms. Truix, Ms. DePina, Mr. Millet, Ms. Miranda, Mr. Holguin, Mr. Galorgan, and Ms. Harrington. I appreciate you all putting your names in and stepping up this evening, not a small ask. And also just a reminder that there is another election coming up in just a few weeks. Papers will be open. Thank you. And congratulations, Ms. Miranda. Anything further? Okay.
Considering we just swore Veronica in, I think that she should come over here and sit next to Mr. Cruz so she gets to vote to adjourn this meeting. Yeah, she gets to share my microphone because it seems it's the only one that works. Either that or I talk very loudly.
Mr. Cruz's works as well. Yeah.
We'll try out the chair.
There's an empty chair right there, actually. Yes.
You can sit up there. Oh, yeah. He gets promoted.
Yes. And that mic works. Yeah.
Actually, Jim used to call it a promotion.
Councilor Dominguez.
At least 6. Thank you, President Stott. Without further ado, I move for adjourn.
Councilor Dominguez moves for adjournment. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor McCarthy.
Yes.
School Committee Member Cruz.
Yes.
School Committee Member Manning.
Yes.
School Committee Member Cornell.
Yes.
School Committee Member Pangallo.
Yes.
School Committee Member Campbell.
Yes.
School Committee Member Miranda.
Yes.
Council Watson-Belt.
Yes.
Council Varela.
Yes.
Council Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Council Masillo.
Yes.
Council Merkel.
Yes.
Council McLean.
Yes.
Council Hapworth.
Yes.
Council Dominguez.
Yes.
Council Cohen.
Very efficient meeting. Let's go watch the Celtics. Yes.
And Council Stott.
Yes. On the motion to adjourn, 17 members voting, 17 in the affirmative. We are adjourned.